Next up, we have our second NHL playoffs first round preview and predictions video of the day, and we have the Nashville Predators and the Dallas Stars. Now, this is a series that I'm actually excited for, like the Washington and Carolina one, because I think it is going to be a very closely contested, a physical series, and it's a team that has had trouble staying in, as a consistent playoff team in terms of Dallas, and then you have the opposite of that in Nashville, who has been consistently one of the best teams in the NHL over the past season. So I think this is going to be a very, very fun series. Dallas, I would say, has more of the superstar caliber players in terms of Tyler Seguin. Not so much Jamie Benn this year, but Jamie Benn is still regarded as a star caliber player in the NHL. And then you look at Nashville, who's more of a well-rounded team with just a lot of people, and they don't really do it individually. They do it by committee, and a lot of people chip in. So I think this is going to be a very, very fun series. So let's get right into it. Now taking a look at each team's regular season stats, and they're not as far apart as you might think. Nashville finished the season with a record of 47, 29, and 6 for 100 points, first in the Central. And if you were to tell me before the season started that it would only take 100 points to get the first place spot in the Central Division, I would have said you're crazy. I thought the Winnipeg Jets were going to win the President's Trophy before the season started, but that didn't happen, and it only took 100 points to become first in the Central this year. And for Nashville, that is a good thing. And you look at Dallas, 93 points, 43, 32, and 7. It didn't take too much to make the Western Conference playoffs this year. That's why we saw teams like Colorado and Dallas make it with only about 90 and 93 points. And then you have teams in the East like Montreal with 96 points who didn't even make the playoffs. But that is just the beauty of being in the Western Conference this year for the Dallas Stars. They were letting goals by Tyler Seguin with 33, assists by Tyler Seguin with 47, and points by Tyler Seguin with 80 points. So you can tell who does the majority of the offensive contributions for the Dallas Stars to go along with Radulov and Jamie Benn, one of the most lethal lines in all of hockey. But beyond that is where it could start to get concerning for the Dallas Stars in this series. And then you look at Nashville. Victor Arvidsson led the way with 34 goals, and he didn't even play in like 30 games this year. If he would have played in every game, he potentially could have been a 50-goal scorer. Victor Arvidsson really is one of the more underrated goal scorers in the NHL, and they were led in assists by Ryan Johansson with 50, and points with Ryan Johansson with 64 points. If Philip Forsberg and Victor Arvidsson were healthy the whole year, I think they probably would have, been leading the team in points. But nonetheless, this is a team, like I said earlier, that does it by committee. They don't really have that one individual superstar forward that gets all the work done for them. But on the back end is where I could really start to see the advantage for Nashville. But I won't, discredit Dallas. They have a pretty solid top four with Miro Heiskanen, Klingberg, Esa Lindell. But beyond that, they don't really have anyone who I really think should be a top four defenseman. Maybe Roman Polak could be that guy, but I really don't think in the playoffs against a team like Nashville you want to have Roman Polak on your top two pairings. When you look at Nashville, who has Subban, Roman Josi, Ekholm, Ryan Ellis, it definitely is going to be a very tough series for the Dallas Stars if they want to get anything done. But this is a Nashville team that hasn't really played their best hockey this year, and they don't seem like the powerhouse that they were in previous years. Now looking at some of the team stats, we have the Nashville Predators. They scored 2.88 goals per game, 19th in the NHL, but obviously this isn't an offensive heavy team. This is more of a defensive reliable team, and they allow 2.59 goals against per game, which was third in the league. They have a power play percentage of 12.9, which is the worst in the NHL in the regular season. And you think you have guys like Arvidsson, Ryan Johansson passing him the puck, Philip Forsberg, and then defensemen like Roman Josi and Subban. You wouldn't think they'd have the worst power play in the NHL, but they do. But I don't really think that's something that Dallas could think too much of and get too comfortable with taking penalties, because Nashville has a lot of firepower, and I definitely think they could flip the switch and turn up and be a very, very lethal power play. They have a penalty kill percentage of 82.16th in the NHL in the regular season, and like I said, this is a defensive-minded team. They have one of the best goaltenders in the NHL over recent years in Pekka Rinne, and that is where I'd probably give them the edge in this series. In terms of offense, I don't think it's too much of a mismatch if the Dallas Stars have Matt Zuccarello healthy and playing like we know he can. If Rope Hintz can, do what he's been doing all season, he's been a pretty pleasant surprise. I don't think this series could be as one-sided as many people might think. In the end, my final prediction, I have the Nashville Predators winning in 7 games, and a lot of people might disagree and think Nashville is going to make quicker work of the Dallas Stars, but I'm giving Dallas a lot of credit. I think they're a very, very talented team that shouldn't really have missed the playoffs, over the past couple of years, and this is a team team that should consistently be in there, and this year I definitely think they could do some damage and give the Nashville Predators a run for their money. And like I said earlier as well, I don't really see Nashville as the powerhouse team that I did in previous seasons. It seems like they just don't really have their mojo this year. I thought they were a team that should get around 110 points, but only with 100, and Dallas Stars, they should be feeling decently confident in this series, and try to go win a couple games at home and really make this interesting. I definitely think it could go the other way, though. I think Nashville really could make quick work of Dallas if things don't go their way, if Ben Bishop doesn't play well, but that hasn't been the case. Ben Bishop has been amazing all season long, so definitely this should be a very, very fun series. Who am I cheering for? I'm honestly cheering for the Dallas Stars, so I kind of hope I'm wrong in this series. It's kind of a theme with me. I like seeing underdogs do well, but in the end, my final prediction, I have to go with the Nashville Predators winning this one in 7 games. So that is going to wrap up the video. I really hope you guys did enjoy, and make sure to let me know down in the comment section who you think is going to win this series and in how many games. This should be a very, very fun one. I'm very excited for the playoffs. Remember, tomorrow I'm going to be posting one series preview, the final one. That's the Islanders and the Penguins, and then I'm going to be doing my full bracket predictions as well. I might do something with the draft lottery tonight, but I'm not sure. But stay tuned, and with that being said, I hope you guys all enjoyed the video. If you did, please make sure to drop a like on it and subscribe to the channel for daily NHL content, and I will see you guys all in the next video.